Boker Tov, good morning. It's the Red, White, and Blue Jew, aka Jake Donnelly, and this is This Weekend in Jews in the News. So, item number one, what is more important and more coveted than an Olympic gold medal? The Jewish Mother of the Year award. And we have an early front runner into the clubhouse with Ellen Weinberg-Hughes. That is because she is a consultant for the United States Women's Hockey Olympic team. And what did they do this weekend? They defeated Canada 2-1 in overtime to take down the gold medal against their hated rival. But she wasn't done there because she is fruitful and multiplying and has 3 boys, 2 of whom are on the men's United States Olympic hockey team. And what did they do this weekend? Well, Quinn Jack Hughes won the gold for the USA, taking down, yes, also the hated rival Canada 2-1 in overtime. Jack Hughes whipping a wrister past and through the 5-hole of Jordan Binnington. And as I put out, hey, of course, the Jew would know how to grab the gold, right? So item number 2 of Jews in the News this weekend. This is the most confounding airport stop since Tom Hanks in the terminal. And that was when Tucker Carlson went to Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport and refused to leave the airport for his interview with United States Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. And the weirdest thing that happened during that interview was the fact that Tucker defamed President of Israel, Isaac Herzog. And this is why Isaac Herzog might soon be the president of the Tucker Carlson Network. That is because Tucker Carlson said that not only is Isaac Herzog in the Epstein files, he also went to, quote-unquote, pedo Island and is an acquaintance of Jeffrey Epstein because he believed a report by the Times writer Gabriel Weininger, where if you actually followed Camera, the organization that I now work for, you would know that all of that information is entirely bogus, and including the fact that Gabriel Weininger published a photo, a doctored AI photo of Isaac Herzog with Jeffrey Epstein. So, plenty of Jews have offered their pro bono support for President Herzog if he wants to sue, and everybody does hope that that Jew does sue Tucker Carlson. But last but not least, we have to call balls and strikes here. Jewish Insider, right before the weekend, published an article insinuating that Brandon Herrera, the congressional hopeful in Texas, is an anti-Semite. They went through his past, talking about his off-color jokes, both Jew jokes and Holocaust jokes, and he's not. As the Pew Pew Jew, Yehuda Raymer, pointed out, he is a very good friend of Brandon Herrera's, aka the AK guy, who is a YouTuber who teaches the history of military and warfare and of the world through the development of guns, and that Brandon Herrera does not have a hateful bone in his body. Now, he is part of this group called the Unsubscribed Podcast, and these are guys who are great friends with one another, and they're really fun to listen to because they bust balls, and it's just like you with your buddies drinking at a bar or around a bonfire. There are going to be some off-color jokes, and has Brandon told off-color jokes about Jews, Israel, and the Holocaust? Of course he has. Has he also told a bunch of jokes about every other religion, about every other ethnicity, and about every other nation in the world? Yes, he has. And if you are trying to say that Brandon Herrera is anti-Semitic because he tells Jew jokes while also telling all of the other Jew jokes, well, guess what? Now you are actually asking for a double standard. You are actually asking for preferential treatment. So the fact that he makes those Jew jokes is actually him being a good human being who dishes it out to everybody. Angry Cops is not an anti-Semite. Donut Operator is not an anti-Semite. Habitual Line Crosser is not an anti-Semite. Eli Cuevas, aka Eli Double Tap, is not an anti-Semite. These are guys who protect school children from abuse in Buffalo. These are guys who raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for autism and autism awareness. These are salt of the earth good guys like Nick, the fat electrician, who brings the world together through his epic storytelling and phenomenal research. Now, King Trout is an anti-Semite, yes. A very good friend and insider for the Unsubscribed Podcast. That guy hates Jews. That guy is an anti-Semite, calling Jews the Baal worshipers and those who are in the synagogue of Satan, and a guy who takes a look at a research study by how online Christians go Christ is King and use it as a cudgel against Jews, and then his immediate response is Christ is King, you cannot stop the noticing, which is Groyper language. That guy right there, that's an anti-Semite. Is Brandon Herrera, who tells jokes about everybody, including Jews in Israel, an anti-Semite? No. Is the guy who refers to Jews as Baal worshipers and are products of the synagogue of Satan? That guy is a Jew hater. That is the difference. See? Jewish Insider, it's called nuance. It's called discernment. And it's the gold standard of discernment. So, what do we say to the King Trouts and all the Jew haters out there? You're welcome for your gold medal. Yes, yes, indeed. It looks like the Jews have taken over international hockey as well. This is the Red, White, and Blue Jew, aka Jake Donnelly, saying until next time, folks, see ya and stay accurate.